Hi everybody, this is Nate. Welcome to my channel. And today I have a special guest, Viviane. You probably know her because she is doing moderation on my channel. And if you usually come on a Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, you see that she's usually helping me and doing a fantastic job helping me. But that's not the reason that I have her today on my show is she is multi-talented. She is a Reiki master. She works with the Akashic records. She's an animal communicator and she does quantum healing. So I felt like we absolutely needed to hear from Viviane. So welcome, Viviane. I'm so glad to have you on the show.
Oh, thank you, Nathe. It's my honor to be here. It's really exciting. I love what you do, and you're amazing. And it's wonderful to be in the chat with the other moderators, helping you and watching you work. You're amazing. So I'm sorry, I think I froze a little bit there, but anyway, we're here.
Okay.
So yeah, it's my honor to be here, and thank you. Mhm.
So I'm really excited to talk about those topics because I know a little bit about animal communication, but the Akashic records and quantum healings are kind of I'm pretty brand new to all
Mhm.
this. I always wanted to learn a little bit. So I think it would be very interesting to get like a little bit of an introduction, and we can start with the Akashic records into what what is this? I get a little bit of an idea because it's more often than not talked about, but can you describe a little bit what the Akashic records are and you personally
Mhm.
kind of how you got into this topic and explaining a little bit how you perform, for example, an Akashic record reading?
Yes, wonderful, sure. Um, Well, the Akashic records, think about I like to say like a cosmic library. The Akashic records are a blueprint of your soul. Think about all a collection of all your actions, all your thoughts, everything about your life. It records everything about your life. It's your soul's journey. It's your soul blueprint. And to access, anyone can access the Akash records with proper preparation. And I personally like to set up a safe space where I clear my energy and I connect to source and I ground my energy and to do a light meditation. And I use a prayer to open the Akashic Records key. Some readers use there are different prayers. There's that you can use, but I use a shorter one that I read a protection prayer, and then I open the Akashic Records with this prayer, and then I connect this way. I connect with the Akashic Records masters. There are Akashic Records masters, teachers, loved ones, and beings of light. That's the whole team. Usually, I in the beginning, after saying the prayer, I'll also, as I'm saying the prayer, I'll visualize being this large building with large doors and opening and entering this immense library and meeting the Akashic Record Masters and doing all that, and then requesting a specific book book of life, you were also called the specific Akashic Records Masters for a client, for example. And we use the name. We have to have the name
Mhm.
of the Akashic Records client. When I read the opening of the records, there's a place to read the full name of the client that I'm reading, and you always need consent to open the Akashic records. And in general, you can ask anything to the Akashic Records. However, a yes and no question, it's a little bit hard to
Mhm.
answer. And the Akashic Records, with the Akashic Records, you can tap into past lives. You can read about your current life, and you can also tap into possible future lives and possible future timelines. So it's not about predicting, because what you do today affects your future, and it involves also the free will of others, and there are different possible future timelines. So depending on your actions and your free will and steps you take to follow on your journey will depend, and also your energy, because when you are in a high vibration energy, you are also in a higher timeline. So it's it's a field of infinite possibilities. You're in the quantum field, so it's um, you're co-creating as you go. So um, I did not know about the Akashic Records. First time I heard about the Akashic Records was when I was receiving a oracle reading, and one of the cards drawn to me was about the Akashic Records. I never heard about it before, and the reading said, maybe you're going to be reading the Akashic Records. You're going to be learning about the Akashic Records." So I think that's very interesting. So I got curious about it, and I bought a book. I don't recall the name, but it was one of Edgar Casey's
Uh-huh.
books. So he described his experiences, in his experience, he had to um, he go through a deep meditation, and he'd be basically unconscious, and had somebody asking him questions and answering, recording his answers. Well, now we have a much easier way to access the Akashic Records. Like I said, you prepare yourself through a meditation, and you read the prayer, and you're in. After you have the after you are done with your connection with the Akasha Records, we have a short, um, we say a few lines to close, officially close the Akasha Records. It's okay if you keep it open, but we always close up after the reading, close it for yourself and close it for the client. Um, and because it's a blueprint of your soul, it's very helpful to, the Akasha Records can help you in so many ways. For example, if you tap into a past life,
Mhm.
for example, if I ask, well, show me a past life that is affecting me now today, and then
Mhm.
your Akashic Records masters will share what is beneficial for you to know now. That will be helpful. They may not share something that you're not ready to hear. And one other thing, when it comes to past life readings, it's also um, very effective when it comes to healing trauma, past
Okay.
life traumas that may be affecting you. Let's think of someone that, and maybe I have a client, for example, that would tell me, "Wow, why do I have this fear of water, or
Yeah.
being on a boat?" And then when you access we ask the Akashic Records Masters to share a past life that may be affecting this person, or then it turn out, well, you drowned in a previous
Mhm.
life, for example. So that's why you in this current lifetime you have fear of water, and then you can do clearings and healings to the Akashic Records. When I started accessing the Akashic Records, I would open my records. It's hard for us to read for ourselves, but I
Yeah.
would open my records and access being that energy, and, and just go about my day for a couple hours and ask questions. I wasn't really getting anything at that point, or maybe my ego mind was interfering, but it was a little bit frustrating in the beginning, but I still practiced that way. I'll open my records just be in that energy for a while and then close it. When I, but I also took the opportunity while in my records, I would talk to my guides and say, well, I'll thank you for your help, or thank you for your guidance. Send love to my ancestors. Send love to everyone I met in past lives, and I would just try to have a conversation like that. When I started reading for other people, I initially saw colors, and when giving the reading, I would describe everything, but it progressed from seeing colors to then hearing words and feeling sensations, and then having more visuals of the experience. I gave Akashic Records readings that, for example, one time I tapped into a past life that the client, it was something that needed to be resolved from a past life, and that was affecting her in this current life. And in the past life, she was a man that lived with his sister, and the father was alcoholic and very violent and abusive. And in this past life, this a person ended up um, killing the father in that
Oh,
past life. So there was trauma involved, obviously resulted in trauma. So there was a little bit of trauma and karma from that past life affecting her a relationship, a specific relationship in this lifetime. So we did a clearing of that, and everything was so, it was like watching a movie. Um, I with the Akashic records can give you clarity about your life path, your soul purpose. We all ask, oh, why am I here? What's my purpose? I didn't know when I asked the same question, and that's why in the past I dedicated years to doing volunteer work, because everything I was doing career-wise wasn't really quite working for me. So doors were not opening for me. And like I mentioned, this past life example, you can also read for animals with their
yes.
consent. I tap into their energy and ask for their consent. And you can read for buildings.
You were
And
mentioning also when we prepared the show, Akashic records for businesses, for pets,
yes, yes,
for houses. Um,
yes,
just a curious question. Obviously, the pets have a very special connection with their owners. So,
yes.
have you ever looked at the Akashic record of the pet, the say dog, and their owner, and looking at the two Akashic records side by side? I'm just curious.
Yes, there's one experience that I did I did a Reiki session for a dog, and then I Akashic Records readings too for this dog, because the dog I was always nervous in the car, just
Hmm.
by hearing the car keys. I was always nervous, and I opened the Akashic Records of the dog, and there was a past life that she was my the her uh, mom's. She was human, and she was her daughter, so they were related like that in a past life. And when I opened the Akasha records for the dog, I kept hearing a loud noise. So I asked my client, was what is this loud noise? She's in a car, she's telling me about this loud noise, what happened? And she was like, well, there's no loud noise. And it turned out that in a past life, the dog was, because I saw a windshield break into, so the dog was in an accident. It wasn't clear to me if the dog was a dog in the car in this past life accident, or if it was a person, but it was in the front seat. So she kept hearing this noise, this loud noise, and so she's always nervous in a car, thinking, okay, when is that going to happen again? So we did a clearing to help her. feel calmer when being, in a situation, of course, being in the car again. I also, when it comes to healing, I also do quantum energy healing, and
Maybe before we get there,
later,
Vivi,
sure, yeah,
I wanted to ask a question,
sure.
because it's interesting the way that you describe this. I've experienced something similar,
Uh-huh.
but I've done an Akashic record. I went with a hypnotherapist, and
Yes.
the hypnotherapist took me back in my childhood
Mm-hmm.
to revisit a certain situation,
Mm-hmm.
and we went back in time. This was not past life, but this was in my younger days. And then I
Mm.
was able to revisit the situation, talk to the person who perpetrated a particular action. It was nothing really bad. It was a teacher, but
Uh-huh.
it really marked
Yeah.
me for a long
Yeah.
time.
Uh-huh.
It was nothing like abuse or anything. I just
Yeah.
said that. But sometimes the small things can turn into
Yes,
big things. And
absolutely.
so I was able to kind of revisit the particular issue talking with the teacher.
Mhm.
So it's interesting the way that you describe this because I never had an Akashic record reading, but
Mhm.
it reminds me of this experience.
Yeah.
Does that kind of make sense the way that I describe it?
Yes, absolutely. And I, well, the Akashic, when we're reading the Akashic records, like the client is very active, and I ask them also, if they're feeling any sensations. But when I do um, healings and clearings through the Akashic records, the experience is just as you described. You go. I actually had a healing for myself, an Akasha record reading done for me, that I met an old version of me. I mean, I met myself in a past life, and I had a past life that was shown to me that needed healing. I was in a desert, and I was a woman, and I was being beaten and abused, or like there was like a line of other women being beaten and abused, and I met this um, version of me, and we faced each other and talked to each other, and there was a part in the reading that was really um, beautiful, because she handed me a white rose, and that had a meaning to me that the reader did not know
Ah,
about. And then this old version of me said, this version of me in a past life said, she will understand what this is,
meaning.
or
Yes.
what the meaning of the white rose. So that was really interesting. Um, but other
If
reading, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, I was so the way that you explain it, this is a good reading if you want to know yourself
Hmm.
better, if you want to understand your life calling, if you
Yes.
want to go back in past life to see the problems that you could have carried from past
Yes.
lives, an understanding
Mhm.
of a problem that's always recurring in your life, maybe trying to understand the
Mhm.
root of it. Are we really at the core here of what Akashic Record
Yes.
is? Okay.
Yes.
And it is different from going to a psychic reader and say,
Yes.
will I sell my house? How much will I sell my house? This is not exactly
Yes.
that same kind of reading. Is that right? Like this is more, it feels to me at the deeper level, like the root
Yes.
of your essence, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's
Yes.
like having a conversation with your soul. And when you can ask questions that are about future, but like I said, there are different future timelines. You may be giving different possibilities.
Okay.
You depend on there's different possibilities. And when it comes to healing, as you can heal trauma from past lives, as we
Right.
discussed, but we can also, you can ask, oh, do I have a talent from a past life, or what was I that it can tap into that energy too. And that's
That's
really,
right.
I we get a lot of questions about in well, do I have, well, we all have, gifts and abilities, but we get a lot of questions about what do I have any players that are strong, were strong in a past life, or was I a healer in a past life? How can I um, tap into that in this lifetime? So we can do it's like an activation,
Yes, yes.
process, tapping
A
tap
healing
into
or
that
an
energy.
activation.
Mhm,
Yes.
yes, tap into that. And it's to me the first Akasha record reading I had, I won in a drawing, and I remember that my questions were very 3D like, and I was kind of like clueless really, and I didn't really, my ego mind was talking more in those type of questions that I was asking, and then after that I was like, wow, this is so much more than that, and
Yes.
had my next reading, then I really went deeper. I was like, wait a minute, this is way more than uh,
Right.
what I was really expecting, and you can tap into so much information and healing, and it's really beautiful experience to learn about the lessons that your soul chose to learn in this life, and I'll learn more about your path, and it gives you a whole new perspective of what's going on in your life now. And so yeah, it's very interesting.
Thank you. I really appreciate your education on this topic. And you wanted to talk a little bit, and I think it's very interesting about quantum healing. So,
Mhm.
is there a connection between quantum healing and Akashic records, or not necessarily?
Um, I'll say yes, because quite often when I'm doing quantum healings, I can, if I start a session, quantum healing session, and I'm working on someone, I can open the Akasha records quickly to. I work closely with Ascended Masters, so I call archangels and Ascended Masters. So I always call on Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Metatron, and I like to. Um, I had a recent quantum healing session that I called on Mother Mary and Saint Germain, and they were very Archangel Raphael too. They were very active in the healing process. So it was
Yes.
very interesting for me to watch everything and describe. It was really a beautiful experience. When I do quantum healing, I do I clear my energy, and I set up a safe space, and I start scanning the client's body. It could be an animal too. I love
Yep. Yep.
doing quantum healing for animals. So I call in their higher self and their guides, and I scan the body from the top of the head to the bottom. The way I see like a horizontal line going through the body, moving. And then if I see the the line look a little different, or maybe look red, or moving not smoothly, and then I know that my attention goes there. Other times I connect to their energy, and right away I know, okay, I have to look into the heart chakra, I have to look into the throat chakra. We always look into their aura, and then I look closely. I can see uh, colors or objects that are shown to me, and I describe what's going on. Other times I see an organ, and then if it has, let's say, maybe a pulsing red color in it, then it means that it needs attention, and then I look further into it. Other times I may see um, darker spots that could be heavy energy, dark energy, or entities that need to be removed. Or I see, let's say I look into their um, solar plexus chakra, for example, that is a yellow color. I see the bright yellow color, but there are patches that almost see-through or not really
Okay.
vivid colors. So then I do a clearing of the assistance of Archangel Michael, and then I send healing energy through to the chakra with the assistance of um,
So what you're saying,
your
Vivian, is you first
mhm.
do a body scan
Yes,
and then you
yes,
heal the parts that require healing.
yes,
And I
yes,
assume that it is kind of the whole mind body connection
yes,
because it is
absolutely.
connected. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Because a lot of times when we be picking up on something, let's say it's your solar plexus is looking a certain ways because you're uncertain of yourself, you're having self-doubts, and it's always related to something that is happening in their uh, quite often in their personal life. So yeah, I find it very interesting, and I like how interactive it is. And when I do live streams for the quantum healing, I work with John Beanie. That's one
Mhm.
I learned quantum healing. I learned how to read Akashic records with Val from Dragonfly Crystals, and I learned energy healing with John Beanie, and we work together on Mondays and Thursdays, and it's great. It's like teamwork. It's really sometimes we're working on the same thing, or sometimes okay, I may see something that he didn't, but I always complement each other,
Mhm.
and um, it's I find it very interesting how closely we work with the like I said, the archangels, and I often call ascended masters too, but is um, and I can feel too when I tap into their through the mainly through the quantum healing. I can feel. I actually did a quantum energy healing session for a dog very recently, and that and I worked with, of course, the her mom, and actually with her two dogs in the household, and I started scanning the dog's energy, and right away I was pulled to the heart. Heart felt extremely heavy, and it was actually a little bit painful because it was so heavy. The it was really almost like the heavy grief
Oh,
feeling energy. So I cleared the dog's heart chakra and then all the other chakras. And I had a talk with the dog owner too, and explain to her what was going on because she talked to me what was going on. Of course, what was going on in her life was affecting her animal because our pets, our animals,
pick up
they
on the energy.
absorb everything
Yes.
that is happening to us. So she was experiencing grief from losing her husband,
Okay.
and she was also experiencing anticipated anticipated grief for worrying about losing her dog. She had a couple dogs and they were like getting older. So in that session, I provided healing energy for the dog and messages for her, and also a little bit of animal communication there because the dog was giving me messages such as the dog they would not want her to worry about when he would be passing because he was like I'm good, I'm here, and I want you to be happy, to have joy, and to enjoy your days with me, be present
Mhm.
with me now, don't worry about when I'm going to be gone, so be present with me here, enjoy your
Our
connection
time together.
now.
Yes.
Yeah, so and yeah, so it's certainly when I work with pets, I always have the communication with their mom or dad or guardians because we say pet owners. Like I try not to
Yes.
use that word, but it's commonly used. But it is it's a
They're
partnership
guardians. They're
between.
guardians.
Yes, yes. So it's that partnership because yeah, your animal is taking away from you that energy, and I often tell uh, in a session like that, they're for a client to pet the animal, let's say from we often pet from starting top of the head,
Yeah.
where they're because they have chakras like us. So start with the
Yes.
head, go along the length of their body, and then to the tail, and then I even like do a little flick to kind of clear their energy too. It's a way to move the energy and clear the energy. And for pets that can be outside when they are walking on grass or earth, and that's a way that is wonderful for them to ground their energy, clear their
In the
energy.
earth. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Very
so
much so.
and it's also okay for you to tell your pet, oh, I'm okay, it's okay for you to let go of this energy, let go of that energy, and because yeah, they take everything from you, and that's their
Yes.
way of showing you unconditional love. But it's the I felt much better after I cleared this dog's heart chakra because it was really heavy and painful. So and then right away I knew I was done because after the clearing I felt light again. Through the scanning, I also sometimes feel that the client's root chakra may be feeling there's nothing wrong, but it feels like so light and airy. So then I tell them, okay, now you need to ground your energy because it's not, you need to strengthen your foundation, your connection to earth and nature, and just ground your energy. So yeah, it's very interesting.
I've read some practitioners talk about particular crystals that they can put on the collar of the pet.
Yes.
Thoughts about that?
Yes. Well, the if you're not sure, you can always use a
A clear quartz.
clear quartz
Yeah.
for the thing. Yeah, I like the idea of having crystals to aid in their healing too.
You want to make sure that they're really well connected to the color so that they don't swallow
Absolutely,
them.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
We can always um, um, place with supervision, of course. Like I said, just it's good for first move the energy like that. You can always hold for a little bit the
Okay.
crystal and their throat, and then
Or you can put the crystal in a little box and hold the box to the color, like a little
yes.
container. Or, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because just like in a Reiki session, you can use crystals to place on the body of a person. You can do
Mhm.
that in animal too, but they will not necessarily stand still for too long. So a little bit there to hold it on
Yes.
the throat is helpful.
And Vivian, tell me about how it's like for you to work, whether it's Akashic record or quantum healing or animal communication, remotely versus in person. Do you feel the difference? The reason I ask is I do readings, very few in person, a lot of it is remotely, but it's a little bit of a different energy. So is that also
Hmm.
the case for those practices
Most of the work I do is
remote?
remote, and I know that there are some people that are skeptical of that, but I experienced the energy myself, not only when I have clients, but when I was a client of somebody doing energy work on me. So I felt the energy. So I I remember one of my first Reiki sessions, hitting an animal, Reiki sessions for an animal. I used pictures connected to their energy using pictures, and
Yeah.
I felt sensations in my body. I felt um, my body going super cold or getting warm sometimes, and if I'm scanning their chakras, yeah, I feel sensations too, and really just as if they were next to me. So
Uh-huh, uh-huh. It's
that's when
just when you're next to the animal or the person, maybe you it's a little bit of a different energy.
yes.
because you
Yeah,
pick
it's
up,
different, but you
you
still
still
feel.
feel, yes,
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Um, so it's you can when you get receiving a healing when you have your healing done for your animal, you learn so much more about yourself too, because of what the animal tells you, what they want you to do, what they want you to just like I say, be more present or be more playful
yes.
or stop complaining about this, and just like they want that joy and they want that lightness and their for you. So it's very, very interesting to hear, their perspective on things.
Vivian, thank you so much for sharing your experience in the modalities that you're operating. To conclude this show, I was thinking, since I can tell that you're very touched by the animals, I
Mhm.
want to send prayers and energies and healing energies to all the animals of the planet.
Yes.
So, do you have anything to suggest, or just us bringing this prayer right now, just thinking about it? Or do you have maybe a suggestion on how we could do this
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
recorded but live?
Mhm. Yes, I have a suggestion. So we can always like let's I'll say take 3 deep breaths, hold it at the top, and then release all that don't serve your highest good. Okay, one more. And now from the center of your heart, focus on the golden spark within your heart. I like to see uh, this spark also transform into a golden heart. It's your sovereign, golden sovereign heart. And imagine a golden light cord moving from this heart, going up from the top of your head, all the way into the sky and the highest dimension of the universe, and connecting to the source of love of this universe. So now you're one with source, and you remain connected onto source, and you extend your light cord down through the universe and the sky until it reaches the top of your head and connects to the center of your heart once more. And now you extend the light cord down through the base of your spine, going down deeper through the layers of the earth until you reach and connect into Mother Gaia, crystalline heart. Send her love and gratitude, and she sends her love back. Remain connected unto Mother Gaia, crystalline heart, and extend your golden light cord up to the layers of the earth until it reaches the base of your spine and connects to the center of your heart once more. So now you're connected with Source above and Gaia below. Focus on your golden spark again within your heart and extend the golden bubble of protection 2 meters above and below you, in front and behind you. Inside the space, only energies and entities with your permission, your highest good love and compassion can see you and access you. And inside the space, all their energies must leave immediately. And inside the space, you invite in your higher self and your guides, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. And this time I'm going to invite Mother Mary. And now focus on the center of your heart once more. And imagine a rose, a white rose that is opening. And now this white rose, it's expanding and sending pink diamond light from your heart space to all living creatures, all animals, whether they have a home or they're in a shelter, and animals in the wild. I always like to send extra love to the animals that are in shelters and that are homeless, and wish that they can find a good home in a safe place. So just imagine, continue to imagine this pink diamond light expanding and touching the heart of every animal on the planet. Mm. So it is. And that's one way you can do this, this practice. I actually felt a nice vibration on my heart.
Very, very nice. It was completely unexpected, improvised, but
Yes, it
you're
was.
a pro. You're
I,
such a pro. You just picked it up and went for it. I really, really commend you for that, Vivian. It
thank
was
you.
very cool. I am so happy that we got to share this with our viewers. I'm just taking my breath here now. It's been a pleasure. It's
Thank
been
you.
absolutely fantastic. Everyone, if you're interested about learning about your own Akashic record, if you're interested about quantum healing for you, for a pet, or an animal communication work, you can check Vivian's website. I put it in the description of this video and you'll find her, and I highly recommend it. And thank you on behalf of our community.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Nave. It's my honor to be here. Thanks so much.